Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today I'm doing another indie horror spotlight. Today I have with us, he's a screenwriter, and he has a screenplay that's getting a lot of attention in the festival circuit, and it's called Demonic Trance. I have with us today Dexter William. Dexter, welcome to the Horror Room.
Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you on. It's a pleasure to have you on. I understand you want to do a quick shout out.
Yes, I do. There's someone named Angie Stark, one of my friends on Facebook. She's a cosplayer and a huge supporter of my work. I wanted to give her a shout out. Thank you for the encouragement, Angela. Appreciate it.
Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Angela. Dexter, okay, real quick, tell us a little bit about Demonic Trance.
Actually, Demonic Trance was inspired by a scene by one of the greatest horror films of all time, one of the greatest films of all time, period, called The Exorcist. There's a scene which the character played by Linda Blair is hypnotized to find out what is wrong with her, what have you. It leads to some crazy stuff, what have you. But that scene stuck with me and inspired me to write this screenplay about this trio of ladies, one of which has a recurring nightmares and she wants it to stop, and another one who's the expert at hypnosis decides to hypnotize her, and it leads to horrific things.
So how long did it take you to write this screenplay?
So we just less than an hour to do it.
Less than an hour? Wow.
Yeah.
So you get this idea in your head for the story, and in an hour you're able to put it down on paper and break it down. Give me step by step what that looked like.
It looks really good. It was really good. I try to start off it starts out like this, and then it rises. The story rises. Is the intensity, the horror, the frightening, what have you. It starts out pretty slow, also, but really speeds up, and at the end, it gets a big wow in the end. And I'm extremely proud of this particular script because, like I said, it's from an unlikely source of inspiration, The Exorcist. Who knew? But I want to thank Linda Blair and everyone involved making The Exorcist, including director, the late great William Friedkin, and everyone else who made the film and inspired me to write this particular script called Demonic Trance. And he recently won an award, his first award. It won the Best Show Script Award at the Underground Indie Film Festival, which I'm very, very flattered by that. I'm very humble and honored by that.
That must be an amazing film. That must be amazing to have your work recognized. I didn't expect it that way. It was first an official selection, but then it was chosen best short script, which just blows my mind because, like I say, it was inspired by The Exorcist, and now look what has happened. Yeah. Now, so when you were writing your script, did you already have an ending in mind, or did you have to work your way to the ending?
I had an ending in mind. It's a dark ending, and it's quite satisfying, quite chilling, and quite frightening and scary and what have you. And that's my intention with that film. That script. It's not been made into a film yet, but horror reigns supreme, man, when it comes to movies, and horror is king. And when I first started writing screenplays, I was reluctant to do horror because it just wasn't my thing. But after seeing a particular film called A Nightmare on Elm Street, that changed everything for me, man. It changed everything, and now horror is the thing that really took my career to the next level, and I got more accolades for my work in the horror genre than any other genre, and I owe a huge debt of gratitude to horror stuff because, like I said, horror is king.
It really is, man. It really is. I've been a horror fan for life, man, and it's definitely my favorite genre. I love movies in general, but there's something about horror. It's a primal fear, that primal nature in it, and I absolutely love it.
Now, blame you. I'm with you with that. I'm with you on that.
Yes, we're on the same page. Now, at any point, so you finish the screenplay. At any point, did you make any edits? Did you were you like, well, I don't like the way this flows. But let me tweak a couple things.
I've done it with mostly all my screenplays. I may want to make sure it's as good as possible. I don't want to be amateurish. I don't want to be second rate in any way. I want it to be just as good as it can possibly be, because I don't want to give it to any film festival or screenwriting contest or any agent or manager without giving it the best possible presentation it can be.
Now, Dexter, as you know, this is an exciting time to be a horror, especially an indie horror creator. I mean, with when it comes to film festivals, distribution wise, the streaming service, there is a huge influx of indie horror creators that normally, 5-10 years ago, that wouldn't have had the opportunity to have the spotlight shine on their work, or even their work probably even made at all. What are some things that you are excited about when it comes to indie horror, the future of indie horror?
I am so excited about this because I'll tell you what, my 3 favorite movies of the summer and of the year are all horror films, right?
Mm-hmm.
And third place is Maxine, the new one from Ty West starring Mia Goth. That was amazing.
I love the first
second place, Long Legs with Michael Moreau and Nicolas Cage, directed by Oscar Perkins, the son of Anthony Perkins. That blew my mind. And the one I went to go see today, a little Irish horror film called what's it called? It's called Oddity. That's what it's called, Oddity. And that I was extremely impressed with that too, because horror is killing it this year, man. I've seen A Late Night with the Devil, Immaculate, In a Violent Nature. Horror is killing it, man. And there's still many more to come, like Smile 2. And the one I'm looking forward to, Terrifier 3. Oh my gosh. I saw Terrifier 2 in the theater, and I was knocked out. They spent only $250,000 in this film, and it is such impressive stuff. It went farther than most films some films dare to do, and Terrifier 3 is going to be just amazing.
But isn't it awesome that these small budget indie films, like, X, for instance, X and Pearl both were shot on a small budget. They got a little bit more of a budget
for films, yeah.
Yeah, and they were shot on such a small budget. And Maxine got more of a budget, but it's still considered an indie small budget movie. And I mean, you look at Long Legs, you also look at the Terrifier series. It's awesome that now it seems like Hollywood is shining more attention on the indies, and they're giving them more screen time, and they're giving them more attention.
As well they should, because indie horror is just as great and perhaps better than studio horror. And I go for both. I've written for both towards indie and studio, and I would love to work with those guys. Damien Leone for Terrifier, Ty West, Maxine, Oscar Perkins for Long Legs. I would like to work with those guys. And Parker Finn for Smile. Don't forget that. But my all-time favorite film franchise, horror otherwise, is Saw. I got every single one of the Saw films, all 10 films, my DVD collection. And the next one is coming out next September 2025. I am definitely going to be in the first line to go see that. I owe a huge debt of gratitude to the Saw films. They just knock me out. It gets better with each one. I can't say that about a lot of franchises, but Saw is the franchise. Best one ever.
So when it comes to the Saw series, if you ever watch my show, I love the first 2, right? The first 2 were great. Then it kind of took a decline. You know what I mean? It kind of took a decline. Mm-hmm. But when I went to see Saw X exceeded my expectations. To the point where if someone asked me, like, what is my ranking of the Saw movies, Saw X is up there. It might be the second favorite Saw movie. Mm-hmm. It was so good. They brought it back to its original tales, and I mean, it was just an amazing movie.
Yes, like I said, it went better with each one, and I get on the edge of my seat every time, man. And it's never a dull moment, man. Never a dull moment in any of the films. And like I said, Saw 11 is going to be coming out in September 2025. I'm going to be among the first to go see it. I can't think of a better film franchise than Saw. It just took it, horror and torture and what have you to the next level. And like I said, it goes places the few horror films dare to go. And that's why I admire so much about these films. And kudos to Lionsgate for having the guts to take a chance on these films because you know that was horror is all about. Horror is about that roller coaster ride. You never want to get off. It is such a roller coaster ride, and full of peaks and valleys. And when you meet those valleys, man, it's a rush. It is a pure rush. That's the same thing I'm trying to do with my horror stories.
And something else that is great, you and I being African American, there's been a huge influx of African American horror creators. Something, I was born in the 80s and, raised in the 80s, and it was something that we didn't see as much. I mean, when it comes to a lot of the screenwriters, the indie horror filmmakers that I've introduced, black men and women, like that. Listen, as black people, we always have been horror fans, but we've never really went out there until like I've been noticing the last 10, 15 years. Now we're out there not only fans, but we're also creators.
That is amazing. And I shout out to Jordan Peele because his films rock. When I saw Get Out, it just had me on the edge of my seat, my heart was almost racing and what have you. His next film was Us, which I actually went to go see twice in the same theater. I don't see a movie more than once unless it's something truly special, and Us is something fantastic. And his most previous film, Nope, that was great too. And Jordan Peele is the man. He started out doing comedy stuff with Key and Peele, Keegan Michael Key, his partner, and he ventured into horror, and he did it in such amazing, in such a unique way. And he's an Oscar winner, so the man knows what he's doing, and he's an inspiration to many black horror screenwriters, especially me. And I would love to, perhaps do a film produced by Jordan Peele. It will be an honor and a privilege. Never say never. Anything can happen, but Jordan Peele is the man.
Now, so as a screenwriter, once you have your screenplay written, what is usually the next step? Do you put it out on the film festival market? Do you shop it with filmmakers and distributors? What is usually the next step?
First of all, whenever I finish a screenplay, I'll always have it registered with the Writers Guild of America to protect myself and my script. I think that's very important, and to have it copyrighted or registered. I register with WGA all the time. After I do that, then I try to polish the script as best as possible. Then I start sending it to the film festivals and screenwriting contests. And I've been truly blessed, man. Like I said, I've gotten more accolades for my work in the horror genre than any other genre. And one script in particular I'm very proud of is Mistresses of Sleep. I got more accolades and awards for that than any other script I've written. That's a dark horror fantasy that was inspired by Italian actress Monica Bellucci after seeing her in The Matrix Reloaded, which is not horror, and The Brothers Grimm, especially The Brothers Grimm, which is more dark fantasy. And so I was really impressed with her, and I decided to write this screenplay. Wanted to write a screenplay with her playing a hypnotist. I thought she'd be great in that kind of role, but I couldn't find the right story for it, so I put it in the back burner and work on other scripts. But then I took to another level, man. Without giving too much away, it deals with past lives, reincarnation, but I wanted to, take it one step further. Not just the past lives, but present life and the future life. And I am extremely proud of this. It took me just 3.5 weeks to finish the script. And like I said, it's gotten a few awards and accolades. And, I think it has tremendous potential to be perhaps a next franchise. But it's something always want to bring something unique to the table when it comes to my horror scripts, because I don't want to do formulaic stuff that's been done millions of times before. more people to death, what have you. I always try to do something unique within that. I think that's what I completely did with Mistresses of Sleep. I'm very proud of that one.
Now, have you ever written a screenplay and you're like, wow, this is an amazing idea, and then you go on Tubi or somewhere and you're like, oh crap, someone already did something similar or actually did the same idea that I have?
Fortunately, that has not happened to me. Like I said,
okay.
I tried to with Mistresses of Sleep. I think no one's ever done a reincarnation story or dream or hypnosis story, not like the Mistress of Sleep. That's something brought that is quite unique and different, like nothing that no one's ever seen before. And I try to do that every all my scripts. And I think it may be the most unique horror script I've written is Mistress of Sleep, and I'm very proud of that one. And nice. I would definitely want to make that into a feature film.
Then Dexter, so once you finish your script, who is the first person that you have take a look at it?
Well, there's this wonderful guy named Paul McFall. He has a company called Paul's Pony Productions. He has a couple of projects that he's working on, and he asked me to help him with a couple of scripts that I was more than happy to do that. One is called Carnivorous, and another one is called Demonic, and both scripts turned out really well. He was very impressed with the work I did on them, and brought something great to the table. And well, I think we are pushing towards making those projects happen.
Nice. All right, now, Dexter, I'm pretty sure you've watched my channel and you know what I'm going to do next. I'm going to ask you 3 random horror questions. These are your personal opinion.
Right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What is one horror movie that you absolutely love and you think that you feel that it doesn't get enough attention and you feel like it's underrated?
Underrated. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good question. Wow. You know what? There's one. Escape Room Tournament of Champions. That film was amazing. The first one was okay, but the second one just took it to another level. For some reason, it was a bit underrated, but I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic, and one of the few Hollywood horror sequels that can stand. So I have to choose that one.
See now, I have to go watch that one now. Thank you. All right. Second question: what is one horror movie? This is going to be the opposite. What is one horror movie that you feel is overrated? That most people say, "Oh my goodness, this is the greatest thing ever," and you're like, "It's okay, but I don't see it."
There's a recent one. It's actually currently in theaters now, called Quiet Place Day One.
Really?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good for a horror film, but a bit too tame for me. The PG-13, what have you. But it's pretty good. It's a bit overrated, but it's not a terrible film, not by any stretch of the imagination. A Quiet Place Day One, the prequel to A Quiet Place. The first two was far superior, and but A Quiet Place Day One is the overrated one for me.
Okay, that's another one that I have on my list. I'm still going to see it because I enjoyed the first two, but that's a good one.
Right.
All right,
respect that.
The final one is, listen, we're getting sequels. Listen, it seems like in Hollywood, we're getting sequels after sequels after sequels, reboots after reboots after reboots. What is one horror series that you wish would just go away?
Oh. Oh man, I'd say the most kind of disappointing one is Scream. I know people will get on me for saying that, but
a lot of people say that.
Yeah, a lot of people go, that's all right, but the second and the fourth one are my favorites. Those are the ones that delivered big time. But the first 2 and 4 are my favorites. 1, 3, 5, and 6 are okay, but they're just did not quite get over the hump for me. They're pretty good, but nothing solid, but not spectacular. I'll put it that way. Solid, but not spectacular. I think they're going to do a Scream 7. I think you should stop after this because I can't keep getting disappointed by this. Second and fourth one are the two best ones they put out. But other than that, it's above average at best. Above a B for me.
And I agree about the Scream series. It's a consistent series, which means there's no bad ones in the series. But I think it's getting a little long in the tooth. I mean, I think that we've done seen everything you could possibly see in the Scream universe. And I think if they are going to make another Scream movie after this one, let's let it sit for 10 years, and then hopefully somebody with a new vision does something new to it or something. I don't know.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Because we've been getting one every 2 years for the last decade or two. Yes, I agree. But I would say the same thing too. But I would say the same thing too about the Saw series. For a while, they were pumping out Saw movies every single year, and I was like, why would you do that? Because you kind of you kind of beating people over the head with the movies instead of building up that expectation where people are like, oh, I can't wait to see another Saw movie. But you're like, oh, well, I don't have to wait. It's going to be another one out in October, And that's what something was great about Saw 10. They waited years before, putting another one out. And it kind of built up that expectation.
Well, Saw is, for me, just in my opinion, Saw is completely different from any other franchise. Unlike the Scream and the other franchises, this one has been consistently great. Each one greater and greater and greater and greater. And I know a lot of people don't disagree with me, but, Saw is king as far as film franchises are concerned, horror or otherwise, because it just gets better and better.
Even Spiral? You like Spiral?
Especially Spiral. Spiral was amazing. Chris Rock just knocked it out of the park with that one. Yes, he did, man. I'm not the biggest Chris Rock fan, but he actually created the original story for this film, and he's executive producer. I think he did a fantastic job. So did Samuel L. Jackson. You don't see Samuel L. Jackson in a lot of horror films, but he was great in that one too. And it just had me on the edge of my seat. And the ending was twisted. So twisted. I loved it. Woo.
And that was the first Saw.
The Book of Saw is amazing. Truly amazing.
And that was the first Saw movie that I was excited about, right? I was excited because I'm the TV show Fargo. I'm a huge Fargo fan. And Chris Rock just came off a season of Fargo where he did an amazing job. And the first time I really got to see him act in a serious role. So when I heard that he was attached to the new Saw movie, I heard also Samuel L. Jackson. This was during COVID, right? This is during COVID. I went out during COVID wearing a mask and everything and sat in the theaters to see Spiral. And it's just left me. But I don't know what happened. But I saw a lot of horror movies during COVID in the movie theater. I was the only person sitting in there. And there was something during COVID, during that COVID time when I don't know if it was because of editing or what, but there was a lot of movies during that COVID time, 2020, that were huge disappointments for me. That the Candyman reboot, there was a lot. But 2021, in my opinion, 2021 and 2022 were, I think, the best years of horror movies, and I'm probably gonna have to add this year on too, that I've seen in a while. And but 2021, it was just a weak year, and I can imagine, that a lot of studios were holding on to their best projects until everything passed through.
Well, yeah, man. 2022 was a fantastic year for horror films. 2023 even better. They're killing it with the horror films in 2023, man. They really are. And they say the best is yet to come, man. There's Trapped, the new M. Night Shyamalan film that sounds very interesting. Smile 2, especially Smile 2 and Terrifier 3. Those ones, I am psyched to go see that. Psyched to go see that, man. I saw the trailers for these films, The Terror for a Smile 2, and it looks amazing, even better than the first movie. I absolutely loved. It was a very unique concept, and you know, keep it
Actually
up, man. Keep
hated.
it up because they're just killing it.
I'm
They're
saying
killing
I
it, man.
absolutely hated the first one, but the second one I saw in the theater. I hated the first one, and but the second one I saw it in the theaters because I like to support indie filmmakers, right? Unless it's Winnie the Pooh, but because I got a problem with those guys, um, but like Terrifier 2, everything that I hated about the first one, everything that I despised about the first one, they fixed those problems. Like the characters, the story. Part one didn't have a story. It didn't have no character development. The acting, there was no motive. Part two gave me all the things that I was missing. I thought I was missing in part one. I got it in part two. So part two was leaps and bounds better than me, and that's one of the few times where a sequel is better than the original. I thought part two was way better than part one.
Yeah, I can dig what you're saying, man. I can dig what you're saying. I saw Terrifier 2 in the theater, and it just knocked me out, man. Um, for a film that cost $250,000 to make, and it was a fundraising thing. Funds were raised for that film, and Damien Leone, props to him, man, because he really, really knocked it all out of the park, and went to places with that film that few horror films dare to go, and that's what I love so much about it because he's not afraid to just go go over the top gore and violence, what have you. And I just had not much praise for Damien Leone, and I would love to work with someone like him, you know, because he just did something really special. Art the Clown is just in the same league as Jason Voorhees and Freddy
Menacing
Krueger.
villain. He's a
And
menacing villain. Great
Art the
villain.
Clown's the man. I love it.
Great villain. People think that I hate the Terrifier series. It's not true. I just hate the first one. But let's. But Dexter, where can everyone find you, my friend?
Well, you can reach me on Facebook, or you can email me at oyou78020 at hotmail.com. The email address again is oyou78020 at hotmail.com.
Okay, and where can he find some of your work?
Well, it's on file, and anyone who wants to read it, if you want to read one of my screenplays, I invite you're invited to contact me anytime you want, and I'll send you my script, give you a sample of my work, and see what you think of it.
I personally would love to. So, and definitely send me a copy over. And if you're interested, please also reach out to Dexter and also follow him on social media. Dexter, it's been a blast to have you on, man.
So thank you for having me. I love being on Horror Realm, man, because like I said, horror reigns supreme. Horror is king, and it's an honor and a privilege to be part of the horror community as a fan, as a screenwriter, and as someone who loves horror so much.
Amen. You're preacher. I agree. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Realm. I'm Travis Bruce, and that's Dexter Williams. We'll see you next time. Take care. Dexter, it was fun.
That was great.